Hi everyone, welcome to the College Guys Sports Podcast. This edition is the NFL Draft, and we're doing our whole long first round mock draft because the draft is this week, believe it or not, and we're all really excited because we get to see all those brand new players coming from college on to new NFL teams and how they correlate. So I'm your host, Ryan Weiss, along with my co-host Thomas Brown and Daniel Engelgau. How are we doing, guys?
I'm doing really good, Ryan. Daniel, why don't you tell us how you're doing?
I'm doing very well, Ryan. You know, just living the dream up in college, getting ready for this draft, and that's it.
Well, for me personally, I've been all right, I guess. Flyers just lost in the playoffs, and Braden Shen got a bullcrap 3-game suspension starting off next year, so not exactly great in hockey terms, but we're on to the NFL draft, and we'll see how that works out and see how much angrier I get then, if that's possible.
You guys been drafted a kicker, and Philly's not going to go to the Super Bowl. Just got to tell her how it is.
I mean, the Super Bowl thing that's a given, but the kicker, that's a Jag. I feel like that's Jag department.
Hey, we'll win the division.
All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah, you go 6 and 10.
Okay, Mark Sanchez.
Oh, yeah, about to say Mark Sanchez or Trevor Siemian. God, don't be throwing that shade.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get right into this. We're gonna do all 31 picks. We're gonna do a mock. We're gonna do something different though. Since there's 3 of us, we're all going to give each other our own separate picks that we have for our own mock. And then for those, we'll have our own actual mock that the 3 of us agree on. And what's going to happen is, as long as there's 2 or more people who agree on one pick, then that will be the pick. If we all have a separate player, then someone has to talk at least one other person into their actual pick. So need a majority of 2 to have the actual pick, and we'll go off those. So, like, say, the 3rd pick in the draft is Laramie Tunsil, and then the 5th pick in the draft, I have Tunsil. I have to come up with a new player because I have Tunsil off. So we're gonna have to quick think. The 3 of us are gonna be quick on our feet if our guys are off, but we got this done. We know these players. We're prepared. We're football fans. So, any quick comments before we get started, guys?
I have to say, I'm a very stubborn person, Ryan. I don't think you'll persuade me, and I'm a wild card. I throw picks people you don't even know about in this first round.
I do a 7-round mock.
There's a kicker going, Ryan.
You really have Robert Aguayo? Surprise factor. Anything you want to say, Thomas?
I might have even thrown your name in here.
No, it's
I am not eligible for the draft yet. I'm eligible for the MLB.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm eligible for the MLB and the NHL and the NBA draft. It's not anything you want to say, Thomas? Because Daniel's rude. He keeps interjecting.
All I have to say, Ryan, is Derrick Henry, first running back in the draft. It's a lock.
All right. So you're stupid. So we solved that problem already. All right. So let's start. I guess I'll go first. With the first overall selection in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Jared Goff. What do you guys have for the Rams picking?
I guess I'll go, and I'll let Daniel. Yeah, I also have Jared Goff. Do you want me to let Daniel go first, or do you want me to explain?
Well, all 3 of us will say our pick, and then we'll explain. So, okay. Daniel, who do you have for
I have Jared Goff as well.
Yeah, the reports came out as 99.9% likely that the Rams picking Goff. It's what's been since the trade up for the pick that Goff's the guy. We all know he's looks like a good quarterback. Skinny frame, but not the best arm. But let's say he has tangibles. I say it's not a bad pick. I'm happy the Rams are picking that because I frankly want Carson Wentz and segue. See that? That's how you do a segue. So with the second pick, go Thomas. Sorry.
I was going to say, also note, as compared to Wentz, Goff was not injured. Goff also grew up in California and wanted to play for Cal. So since the Rams are back in Los Angeles, he's going to be happy there, which is a factor when players go pro.
I'd say, yeah, I guess, but yeah. Good information, but you screwed up my segue. But good information, so I'll forgive you because it's good information. All right, Daniel, who you have the Eagles taking over with the second overall pick?
Carson Wentz, North Dakota State.
Thomas?
I also have Wentz.
And I have Wentz too to make it 3 for 3. Anyone have? I'll try to stay out of it, so I'm a little biased. I think Wentz will be a quarterback of the future and a franchise QB, but any of you two want to say something about him?
Frame-wise, he's better than Goff. He's dual threat. We all know dual threat QBs had success in Philly. The only thing that concerns me is that he's been injured, but we'll see. Like his arm, I think he'll see some success.
I wanted to give Sam Bradford another year, but I can understand where Philadelphia is coming from.
Well, Bradford's still going to play. Bradford's a starter in another year. Just one year.
He already requested his trade, Ryan.
Just because you request a trade doesn't mean you're getting traded.
He's leaving, Ryan. He's leaving.
What the hell makes people think? Oh, I like Carmel's like, oh, trade me to the Knicks. No, you'll get traded to where I get the best out of it for you. So, but he's not going to trade it. Even that, Chase Daniel will still play. All right, Thomas. Now this is where we'll probably have the most indecisiveness because first two picks I think the guys traded up for. We all knew who they were taking. So now we have some of the indecisiveness where we'll probably clash at something like that. So third overall pick, San Diego Chargers. Thomas, who do you have the Chargers taking?
I think earlier you said you had Tunsil at fifth, Ryan. I've got Tunsil at third. I thought San Diego. I could see them taking Joey Bosa to fourth spot and then pass rusher. But one thing that I looked at is that San Diego actually had 6 different starting combinations of offensive line last year. And when you combine that with the fact that you're playing in the AFC West against the Raiders and the Broncos with the 2 scariest pass rush units in the league, you're going to need Tunsil. I think he's the best lineman in the draft. Hell of an athlete. I think it's a lock.
All right. Well, since yeah, I guess, but they're paying King Dunlap a good amount of money left tackle, but he should maybe be the best player on the board depending on what board you have. I have the Chargers taking Jalen Ramsey, defensive back. He can play safety or corner. You don't really pick a safety that high, but I mean they have Casey Hayward, they have Brandon Flowers who had a down year but still is pretty decent, and they have Jason Verrett. So you have 3 really good corners right there. Eric Weddle just left, so I think the Chargers would take Ramsey and plug him in at free safety. Daniel, you are the deciding vote unless you have someone else different.
I will be siding with Thomas Brown on this one. I will have Tunsil. I mean, San Diego, like Thomas said, offensive line, there's just not much you can say. I mean, the Chargers need to help with a lot on offense and defense, and this top 3 player isn't going to be the answer, but I think they need to rebuild personally, so what better to start with than a left tackle?
All right, so that means with the 3rd overall pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the San Diego Chargers select Laramie Tunsil, offensive tackle, Ole Miss. All right, so the 4th pick in the draft, I did not have Tunsil going there, so it doesn't matter to me. I have Joey Bosa. Cowboys kind of need help with defensive end before the suspensions anyway. I don't really think you should draft someone in the top 4 just because you 2 starters are suspended 4 games, but like they needed help there anyways. Bosa, some guys think he's a 6 to 8 sack guy a year. When the draft process started, some thought he was double-digit sack guy. I think it'd be a smart pick for the Cowboys, kind of the safer pick. What do you guys have Dallas taking?
I'll start. I also have Joey Bosa. Yeah, like you said, suspensions. Randy Gregory got suspended. DeMarcus Lewis's suspension. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but I think it's pending. Another interesting note is that Brandon Carr did not get cut.
He took a pay cut yesterday.
He took a pay cut. But he is if he has a really good season, he can hit.
No, he won't. Brandon Carr's awful. He won't have a good season.
I'm saying if he does, he can hit the open market next year and he might leave. So I think having Joey Bosa is a good supplement.
I went on the offensive side, and I had the Cowboys taking Ezekiel Elliott.
Wow.
To fill in that.
It's either gonna be it's between Bosa, Elliott, and Ramsey with those 3.
To fill in that hole DeMarco Murray left to run behind that great offensive line. Like I've always said. Like I've always said, Ryan, offense wins championships. They need to get a solid running back behind Tony Romo and that offensive
Alfred
line.
Morris and Darren McFadden. That's 2,000 yards there behind that great offensive line ever. That's definitely more than 4 wins, right?
No, that's Ezekiel Elliott will take the Cowboys to the Super Bowl. Boom. Locked it in. Super Bowl pick next year.
All right. Well, you said that, but what me and Tom said, with the 4th overall pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Joey Bosa, defensive end, Ohio State.
Okay, so with the 5th pick, this is a personal favorite of mine as a Jacksonville Jaguar fan. We do need help in the secondary, and I believe Jalen Ramsey's that help from FSU. I believe he can play corner or safety wherever we need him. He'll be a solid pick for us.
Yeah, I had him taking Tunsil, but he's off the board. So Jaguars and Ramsey are a perfect fit. I mean, if he was still on the board there, I would match them together as soon as possible. I don't think he's going to be on the board. I would put him at corner because you signed Tashawn Gibson to play your free safety. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Strong safety.
Strong safety, yeah. You have Cyprian playing free safety.
Yeah.
That's a decent safety tandem. Umukamara on one end, they didn't get Josh Norman, but putting Ramsey and Umukamara together would be a pretty good tandem. What about you, Thomas?
I have someone different. I actually put Miles Jack from UCLA. They did not. Jacksonville they didn't get Norman. They do like Prince Amukamara at corner. So I thought maybe they might pass on the corner. Miles Jack, he's a monster. He's very versatile. I would say he's arguably the most versatile player in the first round of the draft, maybe even the whole draft. Watched him a lot at UCLA. He could come off the edge. And heck, Jacksonville's defense, it's pretty bad. Dante Fowler Jr. might not work out. He didn't even really get to start his season last year. So I think, and another thing too is Miles Jack played running back, so maybe he can play a skill position. I think Jacksonville could get a lot of use out of Miles Jack.
Yeah, he's got the knee problems, but I heard that his knees might be really bad. It's the whole report. He could play 10 games. He could play 10 years. Other reports coming out, but I believe in Miles Jack. But it doesn't matter because me and Daniel had Jalen Ramsey. So with the 5th overall selection, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Jalen Ramsey, defensive back out of Florida State.
And I like that pick. I don't need to do the draft again, Ryan. All right, I'm good.
I feel like you had Tunsil going to the Chargers, so you could put the Jags with Ramsey.
I also had Elliott going to the Cowboys to have Ramsey go to the Jags.
Yeah.
I like Ramsey.
I can tell.
I like him.
I had Jalen Ramsey actually, but he's off the board. I'll tell you why I had him. Honestly, Baltimore's defense needs help in a lot of areas, but they finished last in the league in INTs last year. Jalen Ramsey only had 3 in his career at Florida State, but I would attribute that more to the fact that nobody really threw to him. So since he's off the board, I would definitely think he'd be a pass rusher like DeForest Buckner.
Yeah, I have him taken DeForest Buckner too. I don't really see him as a passer. I mean, he can rush the passer, but I think he's one of those 3 technique defensive ends who can do everything and just disrupt, get in the backfield, do everything. He can rush the passer, he can stop the run. I think he might be the best defensive end in this draft. Between him and Bosa, Buckner, I think, is definitely one of those picks that Ozzie Newsome would jump on. Great GM, likes playing the draft that way. So yeah, I totally agree with that Buckner pick.
I have DeForester Bunker as well.
DeForester Bunker. That's a pretty good nickname for him. He's so strong, he's a DeForester.
Exactly.
DeForest the Bunker.
I have Buckner being taken by Baltimore with pick 6 as well. They need that speed rush off the edge, especially with Terrell Suggs getting up there in age and coming off an Achilles injury, which that is hard to come back from. They just need a pass rusher, and a big guy, I believe he can fit that mold.
All right, with the 6th pick in the NFL draft, the Baltimore Ravens select DeForest Buckner, defensive end out of Oregon. All right, now we'll move on to the 7th pick, and the 49ers, one of those teams that need a lot of things so they can go a mile of ways.
Not quarterback. They got Blaine Gabbert, but go on, Ryan.
I have the 49ers selecting Miles Jack, most talented guy on the board. Chip Kelly has shown that he doesn't care about injuries. I mean, he doesn't have the personnel power that he does. Trent Baalke still has that, but I'm sure they've worked together on that. Yeah, so Miles Jack, I think, makes total sense there. 49ers need all the talent they can get, and Jack's the most talented guy in this draft class.
I actually have San Francisco taking Ronnie Stanley for offensive tackle at Notre Dame to just help that offensive line. They've lost a lot of players, and they're obviously in a rebuilding mode. And if you're going to bring in a young, talented quarterback in the future through a draft, why not have protection through him? And why not start with building an offensive line?
Alrighty. So I guess I'm the deciding vote. I actually sided with Daniel on this one. I had Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah!
It's not a game, guys.
That's 2 for us, Ryan.
Hey, and anything Thomas picks, remember last year, he got the majority of them right last
He
year.
got the whole top 10 right last year. That's right.
Yep. So Thomas knows.
It was 2 years ago because last year I had.
Just take the goddamn compliment.
Okay. I'm just saying. No, but here's my thing. Like you said, Ryan, they have a lot of needs. Whoever the quarterback and the quarterback ends up being, whoever's running the ball, they need linemen. You win with offensive linemen. Get Ronnie Stanley, protect your quarterback, block your running back, rebuild. And I think it starts at the tackle position.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of their needs. Joe Staley's getting up there. I mean, you can play Ronnie Stanley at right tackle and wait for him because they're trying to trade Anthony Davis even though he's back. But you guys agreed with the 7th overall pick in the NFL draft. The 49ers select Ronnie Stanley, offensive tackle out of Notre Dame. Notre Dame. All right. We move on to Cleveland. This is one team where I really don't know what they're going to do ever since they traded down or up. It's really hard. Do you say traded up or traded down? I know you're supposed to say traded down, but like 8 is higher than 2, so it's like up. It's always weird for me to. Oh. Anyways, whatever. But
Cleveland just needs to start over, Ryan. I don't know what they're doing.
yeah,
We should be their GMs.
Well, that's why they're starting over, so they're getting a lot more picks. Yeah, they're playing Moneyball with Sashi Brown and Tom DePodesta, so we'll see how that works out. But they have a lot of needs too, running a rebuilding. I had them taking Vernon Hargreaves, corner out of Florida. I think he's a lockdown guy. I love Hargreaves. It's who I had one of the Eagles to take before they traded up. That's one of those picks where I didn't know what they could. They could go a myriad of ways, just like San Fran, so I went with Hargreaves.
I went with okay. I went with because I still had him on the board. I went with Joey Bosa to go help with their D line, get that good edge pass rusher in. You never know with him. Could he be a 6-sack guy or a 15-sack guy? It all depends. And I don't honestly think he was the best defensive end coming into the draft. He dropped for me. And Cleveland might get a steal with him.
Well, you need a new pick now. Bosa's off the board.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
We'll come back to you. Thomas, who do you have? Daniel, make sure you get someone by the time Thomas is done.
Cleveland, they're just Cleveland, man. I put DeForest Buckner, and he's off the board too, simply because I thought he was the best player left on the draft. I just put trade pick, like Cleveland will trade pick.
No, we're not doing that trade. Give me a mock, because if you're going to trade pick, you have to have someone to trade with, so give me a player. If not, if none of you have a player in the next 20 seconds, I'm putting down Hargreaves.
Well,
then I guess I'm going Hargreaves.
Okay, well, I was going to say, me and Daniel both have pass rushers, so I was going to say, like, Shaq Lawson, maybe? I don't know. I don't think he'd go that high, though. That's the thing. I guess we'll go Hargreaves.
All right, so we're going, okay, with the 8th overall pick in the NFL draft, the Browns select for Hargreaves by default, apparently.
Sorry, fans of Cleveland, I just don't know what you guys are going to do.
No one does.
All right, we're going on to the 9th pick with the Bucks. Daniel, who do you have for the Bucks?
I had Vernon Hargreaves. But, oh, man, hold on, let me think.
All right, Thomas, who do you have?
Yeah.
I also had Vernon Hargreaves, and I'll tell you why.
Well, I seem like I'm prepared because I've done multiple mock drafts, although I thought you had too. But I had Ronnie Stanley going. They need offensive line help with a new Jameis, and I think Donovan Smith is best as a right tackle. I should know, Penn State. I watched him a lot. But they also need something that they haven't had since Simeon Rice is a defensive end that can get pressure without a blitz. So I have the Bucks taking Shaq Lawson.
Yeah, I agree with you. They need an end. I'll explain to you why I had Hargreaves. I just said because Hargreaves, he's a great pass coverage, like man-to-man, and that's a big part of their defense. Bucks run a lot of man coverage. Yeah, since Stanley and Hargrave off the board, I'll give it to you, Ryan. Shaq Lawson.
Well, thanks for screwing up my later pick, Ryan.
Yeah,
But
I told you at the beginning. I told you and the audience, you got quick, think quick on your feet. God, say words in the right order, Ryan. So anyway, okay. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Shaq Lawson.
all right, hold on. Has Miles Jack come off the board yet?
Yes. No.
Damn it. No.
No.
All right. No, all right.
Jack has not come off the board.
All right, we're good here. I can do this Giants pick, Ryan.
Yeah. So I guess Daniel, you're saying Miles Jack. Thomas, who do you have for the Giants?
I actually think Ezekiel Elliott. All right. Me and Ryan, we've ranted to each other about this a lot. We talked about this. We talked about it in the previous podcast. Talked about how horrendous Giants defense is, and I know, like, kind of hypocritical for me to have an offensive player going when I've said the Giants defense is so bad. But at the same time, I think the running back core for the Giants is equally as bad. I'm looking at that core, and I think it's one of, if not the worst in the league.
Yeah, like you comment saying like, "Oh, hypocrite." No, I had them taking Elliott too. I did, but Miles Jack's still on the board, so Giants are going Miles Jack. They have needed a linebacker ever since Antonio Pierce was cut back in 2009 or 8, whatever it was. So Giants are ecstatic that Miles Jack's still on the board, and they're hopping on it. Knee problems or not, if that's the reason he fell, they're still hopping on Miles Jack. So
see, like, I understand your reasoning and your thought process behind that. I had Jack going 5th to Jacksonville, so I was like, Elliott's perfect. But
all right,
Miles Jack it is.
Miles Jack going to the Giants. All right, 11th pick, Chicago. What we got, guys?
Well, my second hometown. I'm taking Leonard Floyd from Georgia. Just a big defensive end.
Yeah,
and outside linebacker. I'm sorry, outside linebacker.
Yeah, but he plays that rush. He plays an edge rusher, which is what they need.
And Chicago needs it. They need a lot on defense, and an edge rusher will help them out a lot.
Well, I had the Bears taking Jack Conklin, tackle out of Michigan State. They cut Jermon Bushrod. They signed Bobby Massey, who's not really. I think they just play right tackle, and they're going to kick Long back in. They need a guy on that left tackle to help solidify, and because Jay Cutler's not going to be there after this year, because after this year's contract not guaranteed, so they get rid of him. They need a guy to help protect whoever's coming in for their franchise later. Is that Deshaun Watson? I don't know, but so I have taken Jack Conklin.
Well, sorry, Ryan, but I'm siding with Daniel, and I've got Leonard Floyd going to Chicago. Pretty much for the same reasons he said. He has amazing speed coming off the edge. I think I know he's not the coveted. Well, I mean, he's in the first round pick. I don't know if he's like the best linebacker in the draft, but I think he might just have the quickest first step. And Bears, they just need an edge. They need an edge rusher.
I agree. So the Bears are taking Leonard Floyd, linebacker out of Georgia. At number 12, we have the New Orleans Saints, who have a lot of holes on their defense, especially. Seems like their defense gets worse and worse every year.
Sheldon Rankins, defensive tackle from Louisville. Like Ryan said, a lot of holes on that Saints defense. I think they need a strong anchor. Kind of like with the offense, when you have problems everywhere, you need to start with your linemen and move back. At least got to alleviate the secondary a little bit, because year after year they just keep getting torched. What about you, Daniel?
I have A'Shawn Robinson, defensive tackle, being taken by the Saints. They need defensive help, and a big interior young D lineman will help with that.
Thomas says, Rankins. Daniel, you have, I'm sorry, A'Shawn Robinson.
A'Shawn Robinson.
I would not pick Robinson. Thomas, would you?
Oh, no. For Robinson,
No.
I think...
12. All right, so your pick's off the board, Daniel.
Wow, okay.
I would be open to going to Rankins. I think he's the best defensive tackle in the class. What about you, Daniel?
I'd have to agree with Rankins. I like Robinson, but if you two won't swing my way, I guess I will be the middleman, and I'll go Rankins. He's a good player, best defensive tackle, as Ryan said, but the Saints do need all the help they can.
So number 12, the Saints select Sheldon Rankins. Number 13, I did have the Dolphins selecting William Jackson out of Houston for a corner, but Ezekiel Elliott's still on the board. Dolphins tried to get C.J. Anderson to offer sheet this offseason. They tried to give I'm sorry, I almost said CJ2K, Chris Johnson. They tried to give him $2 million more than the Cardinals would give him. They're trying to get a running back. So Ezekiel Elliott's still on the board, so that's who they'll take.
I'm a bit surprised you have Jackson going that high. I had Shaq Lawson here because they just need production out of their pass rush. They added Sue last year, and it seems like their defensive line production just got worse. And I think Lawson's a great candidate. He's got great speed and versatility.
I had them taking Eli Apple, actually, because they need help at corner. But as I looked at it, Ezekiel Elliott's still on the board. I'm going with Elliott. They need that running back.
All right, so with the 13th pick, the Dolphins are taking Ezekiel Elliott. All right, now we get to the 14th pick in the Oakland Raiders. What we got, boys?
I had Reggie Ragland from Alabama.
Hi.
They've got the pass rush with what's his face? I just
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack, Bruce Irvin.
The best outside linebacker in the league. You just forgot his name.
I'm gonna be
all-pro
honest.
and linebacker.
Ryan, I'm gonna be honest. I almost said Khalil Black. That's why I didn't want to say anything.
Wow. Not a surprise.
So you got them taking Ragland to shore the middle of their defense. What about
Yeah,
you?
they just need one more piece, and I think their deal will be set. And Ragland's, he's my highest inside linebacker in the draft. I think he's the best candidate.
It's not a great class, but okay. Daniel,
Like Thomas said, they do need help in the middle, but I went interior D-line. Robert Nkemdiche out of Ole Miss.
I would. He's got the problem with his motor and the whole falling out of a window thing and stuff like football. I don't think he used to be a top 10 pick. Talent alone, he's top 10 pick, but I really wouldn't say going there. They got Dan Williams, who was really good for them in the middle. I had them taking William Jackson, corner out of Houston. Like I said, I would have him going there. They signed Sean Smith. They had David Amerson, who they picked up off of waivers last year and played really well for them. But I think a third corner would really help them out this time. And you put Amerson in the slot. And I know the corner out of Houston, like DJ Hayes, they took, who was supposed to be can't miss. But Jackson's really climbed up the boards. A lot of people think he's the second best corner in class. We got a three-way shootout again. What are we doing, boys? I would say I would not take Ragland up there. I don't think I'm going to budge on either of these picks.
Well, I mean, Nkemdiche has his issues, but he's still a good player, and I like him. He's just different, Ryan. NFL doesn't like different, but different is good.
I would go towards Ragland more because it's more of a need.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm going to Ragland.
Ryan, I'd side with you for the corner because Oakland does need a corner and defensive back help with the absence of Woodson retiring.
Right. Any objections, Thomas? You want to change me or Daniel's mind real quick?
Nah, it's okay.
All right. William Jackson's going to the Raiders.
Thomas.
So we move on to the 15th pick, and the Tennessee Titans, who used to be a number 1 pick overall, now number 15. And I had them taking Jack Conklin. I had them taking Taylor Decker, but Conklin's still on the board. Conklin, I think, is a better player. He's more versatile. They can move him to right tackle, move the left tackle, depending on what they want to do with Lawan. Need to protect Marcus Mariota. So I think Jack Conklin's out of Michigan State's pick here.
I guess I'll go. I have Jack Conklin. It's kind of like what I was saying earlier about San Fran. Because Tennessee has so many needs. They got to protect Mariota. That's the bottom line. And Conklin's the best guy left on the board to do it.
I have Jack Conklin as well. Got to protect Mariota. He's best offensive lineman out there.
All right, so with the 15th pick, Tennessee Titans select Jack Conklin. And now we move on to the 16th pick in the Detroit Lions. A couple of needs: wide receiver, defensive tackle, offensive line. I chose to tackle their offensive line need. I had them taking Rankins, he's off the board. So I'd go with Taylor Decker, move him, put him left tackle to where he fits best, kick over Riley Reese to right tackle where he should go, try to give Stafford more protection so it doesn't alter his arm angle so many freaking times. Well, what do you guys see the Lions doing?
I have the Lions actually taking Reggie Ragland, inside linebacker. They need help in the middle. They need help on defense. And he's probably the best inside linebacker in the draft, and I just see them having him fill that spot and being stone for their defense for years to come.
Well, I had Taylor Decker. Didn't have to like improvise. Like I had him like.
No, so you have Decker. Are you changing the pick or no?
No, I'm changing it.
Oh, the way. Sorry.
I'm just saying, like, it's not like you where you had him coming before Conklin. Like, I had Conklin coming before Decker. Yeah, no,
No, I had Conklin first. I had Conklin going to the Bears.
Oh, okay.
And he had the fault, yeah. Okay, so we have Taylor Decker. Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, it's just give Stafford more protection. That's what they need. I'm all on board for them moving Riley to the right side.
Yep. So Taylor Decker is now a Lion. Or, not really, but in our universe he is. When we play Madden, he'll be a Lion. All right, guys. 17th pick, Atlanta Falcons. Thomas, Daniel, jump in. Whoever wants to go first.
I had Darren Lee, outside linebacker.
I also had Darren Lee. Falcons, they got Vic Beasley last year. I think Darren Lee, you add that a little bit more explosiveness at the linebacker position. Got better, like, I don't want to say vision, but because he's not a running back, but
just pursuit and read and play and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yes, I think he's better at that than what's a credit to him. I think he'd be a marvelous fit for the Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons need help on all three levels of defense. Darren Lee shows athleticism as combine. I mean, his combine didn't vault him up to the first round. He's like the second round before, but it got him into the first round. I think he's exactly what they need. They need playmakers. They need ball hawks. And that's what Darren Lee can get for the Falcons. It's exactly what Dan Quinn needs for his defense. So the Falcons are selecting Darren Lee. And we move on to the Indianapolis Colts. I guess, so I'm going to put my Ryan Grigson hat on here. We need a lot of stuff on defense. Oh, Will Fuller running 4-3. Let's pick Will Fuller. No. That's what he did last year with Philip Dorsett. Kind of bit him in the ass a little. I have the Indianapolis Colts selecting Mackenzie Alexander, pair him up with Vontae Davis. Alexander, I think, is hit and miss. I do think he could be really good. It depends on what he's got. Great hips. I think he can be a cover corner, but I won't be surprised if he's Pro Bowler. I won't be surprised if he's out of the league in 2 years. But I had him take Leonard Floyd, but Mackenzie Alexander.
Alrighty, I had them taking Eli Apple. Like you said, Ryan, they need a lot of needs on defense. They have a solid corner in Vontae Davis. Why not supplement him? Have two lockdown corners.
I have them, I'm agreeing with Thomas on this one. I had them taking Eli Apple as well. They need corners, like you said, but I see Eli Apple as the better corner than Alexander.
All right, I disagree, but the Indianapolis Colts select Eli Apple. So we move on to the Buffalo Bills. All right, 20th pick overall, the New York Jets. A lot of stuff going on with that team right now. They don't have a quarterback, so because of that, I'm going Paxton Lynch.
I'm taking what Thomas said earlier, and I'm going Kevin Dodd off the board. I think Fitzpatrick will resign. I think they're going to give him his money. And
I think he's going to resign too. Fitzpatrick's 35. Do you really think Fitzpatrick's going to leave the Super Bowl?
I honestly don't think Paxton Lynch is worth a 20th pick.
I don't think he is either, but I've heard he's not. I heard there's no way he lasts past Buffalo and New York. I don't think he's that guy, but it's not up to what I think. It's up to what McCagnon and Bowles think.
You're right, but if I was drafting, I would take Kevin Dodd. Thomas?
Well, I had Paxton Lynch going, and I really hope he falls a lot further, and I'll explain that later. But,
Gee, I think it has to do some of that hat in the background.
Yeah, maybe.
I have Paxton Lynch going to them too, so take the pick.
I did before my last mock draft.
Fitzpatrick, yeah, he's old, hasn't gotten a contract yet. Either way, I think, like, I could see both arguments. Like, if the Jets don't re-sign Fitzpatrick, they have Lynch, and if they do re-sign him, then hey, they can build Lynch for the future. So I think it's a good pick.
So Paxton Lynch is now a New York Jet. On to the playoff teams now, and we're going to start off with the Washington Redskins, and they need help at the middle. They lost Terrence Blanton, so why not go with Ashawn Robinson? They'd be ecstatic if he was still on the board there.
I had Ashawn Robinson going earlier in the draft, and if he's still available, I have the Redskins picking him up.
Yeah, there's still a lot of good defensive tackles. Robinson would be a great pick, but they got the signing. They got Josh Norman. Take care of the secondary. I say address the needs up front.
So the Washington Redskins will select Ashawn Robinson, defensive tackle out of Alabama. We now move on to the Houston Texans. Bill O'Brien, great coach. They need some offensive weapons. Their defense is pretty good. Maybe fill in a couple spots. Thomas, who do you have the Texans going?
I have Coleman. Whoever's quarterback, Brian Hoyer or Ryan Mallett, just give them more home run weapons. They have Hopkins. Get a good number one attitude. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but they have Shorts, right? They have Cecil Shorts.
Yeah, Cecil Shorts.
They have a wild card, and so.
You're saying Cecil Shorts is the number 2 wide receiver in the NFL?
Yes, he was our number 1
right now on the Texans.
No, DeAndre Hopkins is our number 1, but in Jacksonville he was our number 1.
No, I'm saying he's number 2.
Yes.
Cecil Shorts is number 2.
Cecil Shorts deserves to be the number 2.
You draft a number 2 wide receiver in fantasy league. You don't draft Cecil Shorts.
I do. All right.
You also draft Aaron Hernandez every draft.
Shh, don't tell people that. And Tim Tebow. But in all seriousness, I do have them taking a player on offense, but I didn't go wide receiver. I went the best center in the draft with Ryan Kelly out of Alabama.
Yeah,
they lost their center.
They
They have Osweiler.
I have him taking the center in the second round, but it's the first time mock draft. But so I have him taking Laquan Treadwell. I'm more of a Josh Doctson fan, but it's kind of what I think. I think they'll go more towards Treadwell. Corey Coleman, my problem with him is his route tree's not that developed. He runs like 4 routes, like a dig, a hitch, a slant, and a go. That's about all he does. Treadwell at 40 times not great, but usually plays faster in his pads. So looks like we're going to have to. Looks like it's going to be up to Daniel because we have 2 different guys. And me and Thomas have same wide receiver. Have a wide receiver. And I don't think we're going to budge. So Daniel, who is better, Connor Treadwell or Corey Coleman?
To be honest, I don't know if I really want to budge, Ryan. I really like this pick, but I guess I'd go Treadwell. Just the better wide receiver.
That's now 2 for me, Thomas. Remember you were bragging about it earlier?
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, thanks for screwing up my next pick.
Oh.
Yeah, Ryan.
I didn't screw up my next pick. Speaking of the next pick.
I had Laquan Treadwell. I'm not
going
saying
to who?
Come
on, guys. You want to host, you got to do this well. Or at least better than me. I'm saying I do it well.
Sorry, Ryan. I'm spoiled. I'm used to you hosting. No, I have Laquan Treadwell going to the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not saying I would have him go there. I'm just saying I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, I would draft Treadwell before Coleman or Doctson, as a matter of fact. Like you said, Ryan, when we were talking about what's his face, Coleman, just because of that slower 40 time, I think he'll fall to the Vikings. Since he's not on the board anymore, then I'll have to go with Coleman. Simply.
I have the Vikings taking wide receiver as well, but I have Josh Doctson. He's got the best physical tools in the class. I'm a big Doctson fan. I think he's the best receiver in the class. Yeah, I would take him before Coleman. I'm not a big Coleman fan, but Doxson's got good size, good speed, nice hands. Best wide receiver in the class for me. Minnesota definitely needs one. Stephon Diggs is now number 1.
Well, I'm going to agree with Ryan on this one. I'm going to take Doctson with him. I initially had
Doctson, not Doctson. Enunciate.
I originally had Minnesota taking Laquan Treadwell, but if he doesn't fall to them, then I'm going to go with Ryan and say Doctson.
All right. So Josh Doctson is the 23rd pick in the NFL draft going to Minnesota Vikings. which now moves on to the 24th pick and the Cincinnati Bengals, which is now, me and Thomas might agree, because I have Corey Coleman going to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I had Doxson, but since Doxson and Trevor off the board, I'm going to also have to go with Corey Coleman.
I as well had Corey Coleman going in the draft to the Bengals.
All right,
Yeah.
Corey Coleman's going to wear stripes on his helmet. Now we go to the Steel City and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who spent 2 draft picks on defensive backs since 2007 in the first round, or in the first 2 rounds actually. They desperately need one. I had to take Eli Apple. He's gone. Mackenzie Alexander's still on the board. They have to take Alexander there.
I disagree, Ryan. I have them taking Artie Burns out of the U.
I had the Jaguars taking him in the second round, but
I know he doesn't have the size that most NFL teams are looking for at corner, but I believe he has the skill set.
Alrighty. I'm actually...
Never mind, Ryan. Scratch that. I screwed up. It makes my corners up.
I know the worst even the size, but he's got the skill set. God, I've never heard so much more bullshit in my life.
Mackenzie Alexander is the small one. That's the one I read today.
I know. Burns is like 6'1".
Yeah, okay. Okay. Ready? Ryan, I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one. I actually have the Steelers taking Artie Burns. I believe he's the second best corner in the draft and the best one on the board, so he has the size to play. And I believe the Steelers' third time's a charm for defensive back.
Yeah, I mean, I have to side with Daniel. I also had Artie Burns. I like his size. To give you an idea of how lacking Steelers have been in corners lately, I saw this on ESPN. It's been 19 years since they've had a Pro Bowl cornerback. Thought that was interesting. I think their offense is set, and out of all the defensive positions, corner's the most glaring. So I say take Burns.
All right, we're going Artie Burns, clearly the not as good player, but I guess we're taking him because you two are blind. Okay.
Out of the U.
All right, now we're on to the Seattle Seahawks, and you would think a team as good as Seahawks doesn't have as many holes as they do, but pretty much their whole offensive line is a big ass hole, and they also have defensive tackle, and they have corner as a whole too, even though it's not Brandon Browner. But why you don't want to rely on Brandon Browner? He may not even make the team. I haven't taken Jermaine Ifedi. Bit of an injury risk. You don't know how well he's going to play, but I think he's the biggest bang for their buck, and I think that's what the Seahawks are looking for. So they need a tackle with Oakland gone. So Jermaine Ifedi, unless you want to go with like Jason Spriggs or someone like that, but I would say they pick Ifedi.
I actually have them taking a guard in Cody Whitehair, but if it comes down to it, I'd agree with you. They do need offensive linemen.
I also agree with you on the offensive lineman part. I went to the defensive side of the ball, though. I'm taking Robert Kimdichie. I'm not saying I personally would take Robert Kimdichie, because I would, if I'm Seattle, then I'm taking an offensive lineman. Defense is something that they emphasize there, and that's where I think when you're looking at filling holes, I think they're
Okay, we're on another three-way tie. Offensive lineman is what I'm saying they need. Tackle is more important than guard. I think Cody Ware is a good guard, but I would say tackle is obviously more important. They need a left tackle to protect Russell Wilson. Tim Beachy is not really as important as I would say as our offensive line.
I'm siding with Ryan Daniel, so you don't even have to say it.
Yeah, your opinion means nothing.
I can agree with you guys there. I thought offensive guard would be better, but tackles are very important.
All right, so Jermaine Ifedi is now a Seahawk. All right, we move on to Green Bay, and this is how the only way they add players is through the draft. And Green Bay up the middle is awful. They have Jake Ryan up there. They've been playing Matthews there for a while. B.J. Rogers retired. I didn't think he was that great anymore the past couple of years. But I had him taking Reggie Ragland out of Alabama. We've talked about before. He's good captain of the defense. He's a little slow for me, but that's exactly what the Packers need because he'll play in a 3-4. So Reggie Ragland.
Well, I had Ashawn Robinson.
Oh. All
So
right.
let's say Lee then.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to
Or
go with.
Reed. Sorry, I meant Reed.
Jared Reed.
Okay, go.
They need help up the middle. They need a good solid anchor. I've always liked Green Bay's rush, but they need They need a foundation.
I'm gonna have to side with Ryan with Ragland here. They had Clay Matthews play everywhere on the field last year, and he can't do that.
Past 2 years he's done that.
Yeah, so they need another linebacker help, and they've hadn't had a stout middle linebacker since A.J. Hawk was in his prime.
And he just got cut today.
Yes, he did. So I'm gonna go with Reggie Ragland.
All right. Reggie Ragland, 27th overall to the Green Bay Packers. All right, move on to 28, and the Kansas City Chiefs, who have no guards and no corners. I had them taking Cody Whitehair, but Mackenzie Alexander, the guy you two hate, is still on the board, and he loves his big guys. Trust me. But if put Alexander with Marcus Peters there for the next at least 5 years, you want to talk about some shutdown corners, overtake maybe the Broncos for the best tandem in the league, or even in the division. Yeah.
I don't know, Ryan. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on here. I think, like I said earlier, offense wins championships, and Kansas City needs a wideout. So I'm having them take Will Fuller out of Notre Dame.
I actually also had them taking Will Fuller.
Well, okay, Fuller is. Yeah. So Kansas City Chiefs are selecting Will Fuller with 20th pick overall. All right, so we're going Arizona Cardinals. Who are we taking there, guys?
Ryan, you're going to like this. You've been ranting about him all night. We're finally picking Mackenzie Alexander. He's fallen all the way to Arizona. I think with Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu, it's going to be an unstoppable backfield.
Except, they need, pass rushers, so they totally pick a corner. Sorry, I digress. Daniel, you'll like this one. I had to take him Robert Kimdichie.
I like that. I like that pick, Ryan.
They need some help in the middle. Frosty Rucker, those guys ain't getting it done.
No, they are not.
Well, sorry, Ryan, but I also took Mackenzie Alexander.
Yes!
So, okay. Mackenzie Alexander is going to the desert, number 29 overall for the Arizona Cardinals. All right, so now we are at the Super Bowl teams. Number 30, the Carolina Panthers. I had them taking Will Fuller. He's gone. They need a wide receiver, even though they need a wide receiver with hands. Will Fuller is possibly Ted Ginn. We don't know yet. So I haven't changed my pick yet. So when do you two guys go?
30th pick with Jared Allen retiring. Carolina needs a pass rush, so I have them taking Emmanuel Ogbah.
Yeah, I have to take Ogbah too, Oklahoma State. I mean, Allen didn't give much pass rush, but Allen's gone. Johnson's only back on a 1-year deal. They have Coney Ely, who hopefully play more snaps, but we'll see. So Ogbah makes sense here. Thomas, what do you have? Even though it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah, I also had Ogbah.
Oh, 3 for 3.
Put him alongside Ely. You got a dual threat pass rusher. So.
All right, we are now down to the final pick in the draft, and we have the Super Bowl champions Denver Broncos and their starting quarterback Mark Sanchez. Except, hold up. There's a different guy in camp right now with Mark Sanchez. He wears a number 1 and 4 on his chest, and he keeps getting crapped on in this draft process, even though he's going to be the second best quarterback in this draft class. So, with the 31st pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Super Bowl champion Broncos select Christian Hackenberg, quarterback out of Penn State.
Oh, I completely forgot about Hackenberg. Well, I had them initially taking Paxton Lynch out of Memphis.
Well, he's off the board.
But you know what? They need someone to fill that gap. Malik Jackson left, so I'm taking Kendichi, Ryan.
Well, originally I had taking Chris Jones because I had the same line of thinking. Lost Malik Jackson, huge stud. I'm not saying Denver is needy at defense, especially defensive line, but you are losing a star player. It's good to have a reserve. You know what? I want a quarterback that's not Mark Sanchez, though, so I'm going with Christian Hackenberg.
That's if you're going to say Connor Cook's going to come punch you in the face.
That's why I changed my pick from Connor Cook to Kendichi.
So, with the 31st pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select the second best quarterback in this draft class, the multiple Pro Bowler and maybe Super Bowl champion, Christian Hackenberg.
Done in 3 years.
Done in 1 year.
All right, Mr. Blaine Gabbert, Mark.
Hey, who's still in the league? Who's in the league and who's
Who's your college quarterback, Mr. Treon Harris?
Hackenberg isn't in the league yet. Blaine Gabbert's in the league. Blaine? Well, I'm not a Treon Harris fan.
Treon Harris can beat Georgia, Ryan.
Yeah, we beat Georgia.
Twice.
Did you beat Georgia, Ryan?
Yeah,
No.
Hackenberg beat Georgia?
No,
All
because
right, well, that's
hurt.
going to do it for this. All right, so there it is. There's our first round mock draft, all 31 picks as we, I guess, work together, if you want to say that.
Should be 32. Free the Patriots, free Tom Brady.
That's not making this podcast. So that's it for this. That's it for this edition of the College Guys Sports Podcast. If you liked the podcast, if you didn't, let us know down below in the comment section. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff. We'll catch you next time here on the College Guys Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Weiss. For my other two dudes, Thomas Brown and Daniel Engelgau. Have a nice day. Thank you for listening.
Everyone have a great night.
Free Tom Brady.